Atiku Abubakar, born on the 25th of November in 1946, is a Nigerian politician, businessman who has served as the Vice President of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007 during the presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo. He also ran for the office of Governor of Adamawa State in 1990 and 1996 unsuccessfully, but won in 1998. Before he was sworn in, he was selected as a running mate to former military leader Olusegun Obasanjo during the 1999 presidential election and was elected in 2010. In this video, we talk about Atiku Abubakar and exactly how he made his money prior to his political career, or is he just a career politician, just like the rest of other Nigerian politicians who want to be. We talk about exactly all of this, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Don't be like this video and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with them to your friends. We really need to know how Atiku Abubakar actually got so beautiful. Abubakar was successful in the President of Nigeria assistant 1993, 2007, 2011, 2015, 2019, and 2023. He ran in the Social Democratic Party.
Good morning, everybody.
In 1993, he was also the presidential candidate of the Action Progress in 2007 presidential election, but came third to Umaru Yar'Adua of PDP and Buhari of ANPP. He contested the presidential primaries of the People's Democratic Party during 2011 presidential election, losing out to incumbent president Goodluck Jonathan. In 2014, the All Progressive Congress, ahead of the 2015 election, and contested the primaries, losing to Muhammad Buhari in 2017. He later returned to the People's Democratic Party and was the party presidential candidate during 2019 elections, again losing to the incumbent president Muhammad Buhari. In May 2022, he was chosen as the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate again, this time for the 2020 general election after he defeated Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State, in the primaries. He came in second in the general election, being defeated by Bola Tinubu through Abubakar joined other opposition candidates in demanding a vote. Talking about his family background, Abubakar Atiku was born on 20th November of 1946 in Jada, a village which was then under the administration of the British Cameroons. The territory later joined the Federation of Nigeria in 1961 British Cameroon referendum. His father, Gaba Abubakar, was a Fulani trader and farmer, and his mother was Aisha Kande. He was named after his paternal grandfather, Atiku Abubakar, who hails from Wono, Sokoto State, and migrated to Kojoli village at Jada, Adamawa State. His maternal grandfather, called Enowa Duse, migrated to Jada, Adamawa State from Duse, Jigawa State. He became the only child of his parents when his only sister died at infancy. In 1957, his father died by drowning while crossing a river to Tongo, a neighboring village to Jada. Talking about his education background, his father was opposed to the idea of Western education and tried to keep Atiku Abubakar out of the traditional school system. When the government discovered that Abubakar was not attending mandatory schooling, his father spent a few days in jail until Aisha, Kande's mother, paid the fine. At the age of 8, Abubakar enrolled in Jada Primary School, Adamawa, after completing his secondary school education in 1960. He was admitted into Adamawa Provincial Secondary School in the same year, alongside other students. He graduated from secondary school in 1965 after he made grade 3 in Western WAEC. Following secondary school, Abubakar studied a short while at the Nigerian Police College in Kaduna. He left when he was unable to present an O-level mathematics result and worked briefly as a tax officer in the Regional Ministry of Finance, from where he gained admission to the School of Hygiene in Kano in 1966. He graduated with a diploma in 1967, having served as interim student union president at the school. In 1967, he enrolled for a law diploma at the Ahmadu Bello Institute of Administration on a scholarship from the regional government. After graduation in 1969, during the Nigerian Civil War, he was employed by the Nigerian Customs Service. In 2021, Abubakar successfully completed and passed his master's degree in international relations at Angila University. Abubakar has had 4 wives and 28 children. Atiku explains, "I wanted to expand the Abubakar family. I felt extremely lonely as a child. I had no brother and no sister. I did not want my children to be as lonely as I was. This is why I married more than one wife. My wives are my sisters, my friends, and my advisors, and they complement one another. In 1971, he secretly married Titilayo Albert in Lagos. Her family was initially opposed to the union. His children from her include Fatima Adamu, Halima, and Aminu. In 1979, he married Ladi Yakubu as his second wife. He has 6 children with Ladi. In 1983, he married his third wife, Princess Rakiyata, daughter of the Lamido of Adamawa Aliyu Mustafa. In 1986, he married his fifth wife, only his fourth legal wife at the time, owing to his earlier divorce from Ladi, Fatima Shetima. On February 1st, 2022, Jennifer Douglas confirmed her divorce in a statement to the media. According to her, the union broke down due to disagreement over her continued residence in the United Kingdom, amongst other long-standing issues. Prior to this, he had a long-standing business career. Abubakar worked for the customs for 20 years, rising to become the deputy director as the second highest known position in the service at that time. He retired in April 1989 and took up full-time business and politics. He started out real estate business during his early days as a custom officer. In 1974, he applied and received for a 31,000 naira loan to build his first house in Yola, which he put up for rent. From proceeds of the rent, he purchased another plot and built a second house. He continued this way, building a sizable portfolio of property in Yola, Nigeria. In 1981, he moved into agriculture, acquiring 2,500 hectares of land near Yola to start a maize and cotton farm. The business fell on hard times and closed in 1986. My first foray into agriculture in the 1980s ended in failure, he wrote in an April 2014 blog. He then ventured into trading, buying and selling truckloads of rice, flour, and sugar. Abakar's most important business move came while he was a custom officer at Apapa Port. Gabriel Volpi, an Italian businessman, invited him to set up Nigerian Container Services, a logistics company operating within the port. Nicotis would later go on to become Intel Nigeria Limited and provide immense wealth to Abubakar. He is the co-founder of Intel Nigeria Limited, an oil servicing business with extensive operations in Nigeria and abroad. Atiku's other business interests are centered within Yola, Adamawa, and include the Adamawa Beverage Limited, a beverage manufacturing plant in Adamawa State, an animal feed factory, and the American University of Nigeria, the first American-style private university to be owned by a Nigerian. He retired in 1989 April and took up full-time business and politics. Conflicts of interest and accusations have since trailed him on account of his involvement in business while a civil servant, who exercised supervisory authority. On his part, Abubakar has defended the decision, saying the involvement was limited to the ownership of shares, which government rules permitted, and that he was not involved in the day-to-day running of the business. His company, Nicotis, would later be rebranded into Intels and would later go on to feature prominently in accusations of money laundering leveled against Abubakar by the US government during his vice presidency. Abubakar's first foray into politics was in the early 1980s, when he worked behind the scenes on the governorship campaign of Vawanga Tuko, who was at the time the managing director of Nigerian Port Authority. He canvassed for votes on behalf of Tuko and donated to the campaign. Towards the end of his customs career, he met Musa Eradua, who had been second-in-command Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters between 1976 and 1979. In 1989, he was elected the National Vice Chairman of the People's Front of Nigeria in the build-up to the Third Nigerian Republic. In 1993, Abubakar contested the SDP presidential primaries. The results after the first ballots of the primaries held in Jos was Moshood Abiola and Bamagana and Abubakar. Abubakar and King Ibe considered joining forces, combining 5,231 votes to challenge Abiola. However, after Shehu Yaradua asked Atiku Abubakar to withdraw from the campaign, with Abiola promising to make him his running mate, Abiola was later pressured by SDP governors to select King Ibe as his vice presidential running mate. On May 1999, Abubakar was sworn in as the vice president of Nigeria. His first term was mainly characterized by his role as chairman of the National Economic Council and head of the National Council of Privatization, overseeing the sale of hundreds of loss-making and poorly managed public enterprises alongside Nasir El-Rufai. Abubakar's second term as vice president was marked by a stormy relationship with President Obasanjo. In 2006, Abubakar was involved in a bitter public battle with his boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, ostensibly arising from the latter's bid to amend certain provisions of the constitution to take another shot at the presidency, which is known as the third term agenda. The controversy generated by the failed constitutional amendment caused a rift in Nigeria's People's Democratic Party. The National Assembly eventually voted the amendment, allowing Obasanjo to run for another term. In 2006, Abubakar fell out with President Olusegun Obasanjo and switched parties from the People's Democratic Party to the Action Congress of Nigeria in preparation for the 2027 elections. In a November 2013 interview regarding Obasanjo's alleged attempts to justify his third term bid, Abubakar is quoted as saying, "He informed me that I left power 20 years ago. I left Mubarak in office and left Mugabe in office. I left Edama in office and also Bongo and even Paul Biya. And I came back and they are still in power. I just did 8 years and you're asking me to go. Why?" And I responded to him by telling him that Nigeria is not Libya, not Egypt, not Cameroon, and not Togo. I said you must leave even if it means both of us lose out, but we cannot stay. On March 30th of 2014, the media reported that a delegation from the Northern Youth leaders from Forum visited Obasanjo at his home in Abeokuta and pleaded with him to forgive your former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, of whatever political sin of offense he might have committed against you. Obasanjo responded as saying, "As a father and leader, I bear no grudge against anybody, and if there is, I have forgiven them all." Obasanjo and Abubakar have since remained in talking terms. Presidential election of 2007 and the rest of the election has had Atiku contesting for a presidential seat, but to no avail. If you watch this video to this point, ensure you click the red subscribe button and turn on the notification icon, and I'll see you in my very next video. Don't forget to share the video with your friends who really want to know how Atiku Abubakar actually got rich.